skiing after the war. He took that picture, and this one too. That's Innsbruck, Austria. That is, but I saw some of the Austrian Alps, the French Alps, and the Swiss Alps. But this is a couple of my buddies, and
German plane?
that's a German plane. That was where Hitler's retreat was in the Alps. I think it was in Austria. And boy, the Americans flattened that. See, it's nothing but they flattened that before Hitler ever killed himself. And this is an airborne landing in Holland. And we was in Holland, Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, France, England, Scotland, and I didn't get to Wales, and I didn't get to Ireland. We went right by Ireland. I saw it.
Y'all see that? That's a wonderful picture right there. I love that picture.
Wow.
That's gliders on the ground. That's General Patton. Wait, no, that's General Williams. That's General Williams right here. And I don't know who that other one is.
This is General Mark Clark.
Yeah, Mark Clark. He was a great general. And that's, I don't remember what that was.
Just his gliders.
But this, you've seen this. Now this is a picture of Buchenwald, the concentration camp where he killed so many people. And that was the book that the names was written down in that book. And I got pictures of where he cremated them. I've also got pictures where that on the, you've seen these box cars, open box cars with nothing but the end, and they loaded cordwood on them, on that train, flat box cars with the ends, something there in the hold up. There was bodies. There was 2 or 3 of those things standing there, and this combat cameraman took them and gave them to me. And bodies was piled up to the top of the end, and piled up like this on that thing. And I've got them pictures, but I don't know where to show them. And
He was afraid to show y'all anything too graphic, and I told him to bring what he felt like.
And let's see, that's that
is
prison
for the end.
camp. That's just a little picture of it. I got had a lot of them. One fellow wanted to borrow some of my pictures, and he'd never give them back to me. I asked him half a dozen times. He wouldn't give them back to me. But that's it. I believe that ended up in it.
That's the end. Well, no, it's not. There's some more back here.
Yeah.
Manchester, England.
Yeah, Manchester, England. That was a city of about 4 million people. Oh, they had a lot of bombing there. And I went to church there, and this is where we've come to. There, I went to Bishan Tabernacle, and there's about 1,300 seat auditorium, and packed out every service. In the bombing raids, he didn't call off his service. That pastor didn't call off his service time. He said, God's going to keep you. None of their homes got damaged. Not one of them members coming to church ever got injured. And so that was where that he took me under his wings in that big church. And I was a country boy. They found out I could play a guitar, and I used to sing every service down there at Hickory Grove, south of Troy, down below Parson Grove Church. And so the assistant pastor, I went home with him the first night and spent the night and then on. But when he wasn't there, the pastor would take me home with him, the top pastor. And so Bishan Tabernacle, I was telling my daughter-in-law about that, and she had her thing, what you call it, I don't even know how to turn them on. But she said, do you know the street it's on? I said, yeah, and I told her the street, and she brought the picture of that place up on her internet.
Yeah, or
And
iPad or something.
Well, I said, my land, that's just like going back and living yesterday all over. And so that pastor and we formed the American Forces for Christ there. He had urged us to do that, and we went all over England holding services, and that's what got me really going in the ministry. And that's that is the square in Manchester. Yes, I walked through that square to catch it. I'll get off the train and catch a trolley out to Stockport. But I'll tell you what happened. I went out, about 8 or 10 groups of young people to go out on Sunday night winning people to Christ. All over that city they'd go out. And so I went with the assistant pastor out to Stockport. That's one of the suburbs of Manchester. I'd go up there every service, I'd get a weekend pass. But I went out there, and I went to his home. I had to catch the train back to Nottingham, England. That's where we maneuvered for the invasion. And Nottingham, England, I had to go back, but I'd catch a train at 11 o'clock. So we had time to go out to after service, to go out for the service, open air service. And there was a guitar in his home. We went by there for tea before they'd walk with me over to the train station. So I picked up that guitar. I said, "Who plays a guitar?" And they said, "No, we're nobody." I picked it up, and it was out of tune. I said, "Well, it's out of tune. Do you want me to tune it?" And they said, "Yeah." And I started chording it and said, "Do you sing?" I said, "Sure. I used to sing in every service that nobody else had specials at that time, for ourselves." And so, you know what?